Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Audrey and I make content about all things wellness, and if that's your kind of thing, please consider staying by subscribing. It's nice here. It is a vibe. Welcome to another book review. I know the book club has been neglected for a long time, but that's because I hadn't finished Ikigai. Guys, it's taken me a very long time to finish this book, not because it's not interesting, not because it's not informative, just because I don't know what happened, to be honest. Maybe I lost interest, but finally finished it. So Ikigai is the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. Now if that's not wellness, I don't know what is. So if you're interested in finding out the secret to that, and also you want to see this face reviewing this book, please keep watching.
Love like a mountain that cannot be moved. Just as an eagle, I found freedom in you, a peace which brings me.
So the first chapter is the art of staying young while growing old. So this chapter talks about finding your Ikigai, which I guess is your purpose in life. So it has many different things that when they intersect, you find your Ikigai, which include your passion, your vocation, what the world needs, your ambition, your mission, what you love, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. So when you find the intersection, that's when you find your Ikigai. This is going to help you to live a long and happy life. So maybe at this point in the video, you would like to think about what you're passionate about. Is it something you can get paid for? Is it something that the world needs? And is it also something that you're good at? So if you're not good at it, maybe you would like to start honing your skills towards it. If it's something you can get paid for, maybe you can also get the skills that are required for you to get paid for it. And is it something the world needs? Because in the end, you need to bring value to the world. So once you figure all of that out, then you are going to get to your Ikigai. So the second chapter is about anti-aging secrets, which are the little things that add up to a long and healthy life. So the first one is an active mind, a healthy body. And they talk about always challenging yourself. And as someone who has studied psychology, this is very interesting for me because within psychological research, people have found that the more skills you keep on learning, the more active your mind is going to be. For example, after you retire, maybe you might want to start learning an instrument. It's a small challenge, but it is a challenge nonetheless. And because of that, your brain is always going to keep active. This also helps with memory loss. So I agree with that point 100%. The second point in this chapter is that stress is accused of killing longevity. So basically, you need to manage your stress better. Life has a lot of challenges, but as human beings, we need to understand that there are things that we can change and there are things that we can't. And at the end of the book, they speak about the serenity prayer, which I'm going to read out now because it just ties into managing stress. God give us the grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, courage to change the things which should be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish one from the other. So something that I have been applying to my life recently is not worrying about what has happened already, not worrying about what is going to happen tomorrow, but to actually live in the moment and have the strength to set foundations to try and change what is going to happen in the future. So if I worry about tomorrow, nothing's going to change unless I use that worry, transform it into energy to set foundations so I can change tomorrow. Other than that, I'm just wasting a day on worry. So I think managing stress is something that is very important, no matter how old or young you are, for not only longevity, but also just to enjoy life. So the third point in this chapter talks about how a lot of sitting will age you. And anytime I think about this, I always remember my grandparents because they never sit down. They both worked 9 to 5s, and then over the weekend they were either tending to the garden, baking, sewing. My grandfather was an all-round maintenance man, so he used the weekend to fix up his house. He was the plumber, the painter, the electrician, everything. He knew how to do everything. And then when he needed to take a break and have a drink, he would leave the car at home, and then he would walk to the bar and walk back home. So I've learned from them that honestly, sitting down does age you. And when they would sit, it would be to sit down and eat, and then they would be falling asleep on the chair because of the exhaustion, but they lived long, good quality lives. This is my favorite point in the whole book, I guess. So this is point number 4 in the second chapter, and that is sleep. Sleep is so important because it helps you to rejuvenate. It helps you to rest your body. I mean, you've been working all day, you've been moving around all day. Rest your mind as well, because I think when most people are awake, our mind's always racing. So sleep is very important, and they recommend that you have at least 8 hours of sleep. And then when you wake up, you have energy to go at the day again. So rest and sleep are of utmost importance. So at the end of the second chapter, they ended with an ode to longevity, and I'm going to read that out because I thought it was very nice. To keep healthy and have a long life, eat just a little of everything with relish, go to bed early, get up early, then go out for a walk. We live each day with serenity and we enjoy the journey. To keep healthy and have a long life, we get on well with all our friends. Spring, summer, fall, winter, we happily enjoy all the seasons. The secret is not to get distracted by how old the fingers are, from the fingers to the head and back once again. If you keep moving with your fingers working, 100 years will come to you. So the third chapter talks about logotherapy, which is living longer by finding your purpose. So basically, logotherapy concentrates on you finding your purpose. So when you are feeling emotions of sadness or anxiety, it's probably because you know that you're supposed to be doing something. You're supposed to be working towards something. But the more you don't do that, the more you feel empty inside. So logotherapy's purpose is to help you find meaning to your life. What is it you're lacking that's making you feel this way? What is it that you can do to make you feel better? This is basically finding a reason to live. And once you do find it, live in your purpose. So this is also similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where it starts with your basic needs, eating, shelter, safety, and at the top of those needs is self-actualization. And I think that also goes into your mission in life, your purpose in life, self-actualization. So the key to longevity is to live in your purpose. In the same vein, in Japan, they also started what is called Morita therapy, where it is a purpose-centered type of therapy. Instead of trying to escape your feelings, you are supposed to accept them. You are feeling sad, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling fear. These are appropriate feelings for you because there's something that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing. So they concentrate on trying to change your feelings by trying to change your actions. So basically, your psychology and your body give you cues on what you're not supposed to be doing. And when you seriously reflect on what you're feeling, you can try and make actions towards changing those feelings. And in doing so, you find your purpose. The fourth chapter talks about flow. So I love this topic because I've done some research papers on flow theory, which is being in a state of enjoying what you do. And when you are in flow, you are able to be a lot more productive. So for me, if I'm studying something interesting, if I'm reading something interesting, I immediately get into a state of flow. But when it's hard for me to get into that state of flow, maybe I'm studying something that is new or something that needs a lot of concentration, how I get into flow is listening to classical music, because I enjoy classical music. And eventually the flow goes to whatever I'm studying or whatever I'm working on. So in the book, they say that once you find what you enjoy doing, it's easy for you to be in a constant state of flow. Therefore, you're going to be more productive and more efficient. And that in turn is going to contribute not only to your happiness, but to longevity. So flow, 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 guys. Find your flow and try and do your best to always be in a constant state of it. So chapter 5 has some interviews with people who are, I think the youngest person they interviewed was 88 years old, and they were sharing their secrets to longevity. And I'm going to read some of those interviews because they were quite interesting for me. I am going to mispronounce some of these names. Please forgive me if you are from Japan. But the first one is Misao Okawa, who was 117 years old. And she said that her secret to long life was eating sushi and sleeping. I would love to live a life of just eating sushi and sleeping. Another one was Maria Capovilla, who was 116 years old, and she said her secret was that she had never eaten meat in her life. So her secret was her diet, but also she loved to dance, and so she was always active. Actually, all of the people they interviewed were always active, and these were some additives to what they term their secret to longevity. The next person was Jean Calmet, who was 122 years old, and her answer was simply everything's fine. Whatever situation she was in, she put serenity first. So she said that I see badly, I hear badly, and I feel bad, but everything's fine. So whatever situation you are in, try and manage your stress, and that can contribute to your longevity. The next person was Walter Bruning. He was 114 years old, and he said if you keep your mind and body busy, you'll be around a long time. So basically everything we've been talking about. Stay active, challenge your mind, and you might just live longer. So chapter 6 brings us some lessons from the Centenarians, which are the people who have lived above 100 years old. And these are some of the things that they said. Some of the things that were important was having a communal life. So having friends that you can go to birthday parties with. They said that when they were in this particular city called Ogimi, they attended a lot of birthday parties, of which the youngest person there was 88. So even at that age, they still celebrated the small things in life. They were always dancing, playing games that these interviewers actually lost, and they were laughing at them. So they kept their sense of humor as well. And that was one of the secrets that they had. They also spoke about not worrying. So again, managing your stress, cultivating good habits like waking up in the morning, going for a walk, greeting your neighbors because it forces you to smile and to interact, planting your own vegetables and eating from them, which is a combination of you knowing exactly what's going in your food as well as staying active. They also spoke about living an unhurried life. As someone who comes from Zimbabwe and has been living in Cyprus for some time, I have noticed that Cypriot people are never in a hurry. My grandmother always used this saying, there's no hurry in Africa. But I think in Africa, we always feel like we're rushing towards something, we're chasing something. And even on the streets, you always see people walking at a fast pace. We're busy, busy, busy. But sometimes we just need to take time to relax and to understand that things will get done. I'm not saying don't be productive, but also don't stress yourself too much. Another key thing was to be optimistic. Everything is fine. everything will be fine. And when you give yourself that kind of positive attitude, it also helps you psychologically to move towards a better goal. So there's power in what you think about yourself. There's power in the kind of words that you hear from people. So yes, always be optimistic. Then they also spoke about Ikigai, the diet, which is what these people have been eating. And you would find that most of them eat many different dishes at one meal, and they try and have as much color in their meals. They have rice with every meal, which is their white, but they also have a lot of peppers. They spoke about peppers. They spoke about cabbage. There are a lot of things that they listed down that obviously we wouldn't have across the world, but what they emphasized on was having many colors on your plate. So if you're eating that, then you are eating right. Chapter 8 spoke about the gentle movements that can contribute to a longer life. So if you can't make time to go to the gym, or maybe you can't even go for a walk, then you need to take at least 5 to 8 minutes to just stretch your body from head to toe. There are some stretches that you put your hands above your head, you bend your knees, you breathe in and out. Those simple movements help to align your body. They help to have your blood flowing, and they are good enough to help you live a longer life. The last chapter is called Resilience and Wabi Sabi. So this is the art of not letting life stress you, because when you are stressed, you age. So whatever it is you might be going through right now, please remember that this too shall pass. And the only good thing you can do for yourself is to work towards changing whatever you're feeling at the moment. So there are 3 steps to not worrying. The first one is creating more options. So if you have only dependency on your salary, then what happens when your company downsizes or the pandemic happens? So having multiple streams of income helps you to worry less. And then the second point was to bet on some small things and some big things. They give an example of $1,000. So you can bet $9,000 in one thing. So put that in an investment, a fixed investment, and then put $1,000 in 10 smaller investments, startups, for example. So if some of them do well, you're okay, and if some of them don't do well, you're also fine. So that was the advice. And the third point was getting rid of the things that make you fragile. So depending on your purpose and depending on your goal, they listed some things like keeping snacks in the house if you want to lose weight, make it harder for you to do things that you're not supposed to do or you said you're not going to do. Avoid spending time with toxic people because they are going to stress you out, or they're going to feed into your insecurities or your pessimism. And they also spoke about social media. So they said spend no more than 20 minutes on Facebook a day. So yeah, I have a limit on my social media apps that are not YouTube, of course, because I need to watch YouTube. But for everything else, I'm going there to engage and then I leave. So I don't spend too much time on social media anymore. So lastly, I'm going to speak about the 10 lessons of Ikigai. I'm just going to read them out. So the first one is stay active and don't retire. Second one, take it slow. 3, don't fill your stomach. So yes, they say that you're only supposed to eat until 80% of satiety and then leave 20%. That's how you keep agile. Surround yourself with good friends. Yeah, let go of those toxic friends. They're not doing anything for you. I don't know why you're still holding on, girl, boy, man, woman. Get in shape for your next birthday. Challenge yourself to do something and have a goal you can look forward to. And that could be a treat for your next birthday. Smile. I'm always smiling. People say I'm always smiling, but I'm a happy child and I like to show it, so smile. 7 is reconnect with nature. I love doing this, walking outside, reading in the park, for example, and yeah, just breathing in fresh air. 8 is to give thanks. Live in a life of gratitude. We have so much to be thankful for. The fact that you're breathing right now, the fact that you're watching my video, you have Wi-Fi or data to watch my video, that's something to give thanks for. The fact that you've had something in your stomach today, those are all things to be grateful for. Number 9 is live in the moment. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Live in the moment. Then follow your Ikigai. Find your purpose and live in it. So that's the end of the review, and that's the end of the video. If you've gotten to this part of the video, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you've gotten to this part of the video, please also leave a yellow heart, and I'll see you next Sunday.